Hello YouTube, it's Bub's Comics coming at you with another haul from the the little mini Comic Con I went to, Bowling Green Comic and Toy Convention. Let's get into it. Here is Marvel Team Up number 12. This is another one of those books that I refused to pay what they were asking just because of the condition. It was super beat up, basically cover detached, and I just generally don't buy those. But when you're trying to do what I'm trying to do, which is to collect every appearance of Werewolf by Night, whenever you're trying to collect in everything of, you end up sacrificing in quality or condition some of the time because you're just trying to complete that collection. And then after you've completed it, then you don't stop because you can't stop. You're looking, and every time you see one of these, you're like, oh, I need that, because you've been doing it for so long, you're not going to stop collecting. So what'll happen is that over time, I'll find this book again, and I'll find a much better condition of this book, and that's the one that I'll buy, and then I'll sell this one and keep the better one. So anyway, so for now, I'm just happy to have them pretty much in any condition, and the cover still looks pretty good. So, and it's certainly readable. The interior is perfect, so I will read that and enjoy it. Marvel Team Up number 12, Spider-Man and Werewolf by Night. And then working on my werewolf run, here is Werewolf by Night number 8. Pretty cool cover there. Krog, the Lurker from Beyond. Here is Werewolf by Night number 21. Here is Werewolf by Night 34. Looks pretty cool. Here is I mean, just look at that. That's tough, man. They're really getting it there. Here is Werewolf by Night number 38. Another fantastic cover. I mean, my goodness. It's amazing. So right now, I'm still in the early, actually, I've just transitioned into this series, the regular Werewolf by Night series, after reading it in Marvel Spotlight. Marvel Spotlight books were good. Some of them are a little goofy storied, but they're pretty good. And his powers he doesn't seem to be that strong. In fact, he gets beat up quite a bit. He's a young kid. He's I think a late teenager or something, someone just out of high school or something, or maybe 19 or 20 at the most. So he's young. So he doesn't have very good fighting skills. He gets beat up a lot. He gets in bad situations. So what I'm thinking is it might be a new, maybe he gains some strength and some powers. You know how as comics progress, characters' powers kind of morph and change, as we all remember Superman couldn't fly in the beginning, So stuff like that happens. So I'm thinking that as this book progresses, they'll have to make him just a little bit stronger and a little bit tougher. Because in the early books, he just basically ends up trapped in every issue and beat up by average guys who just are a little bit big. So like if a guy is over 250 pounds, he can probably beat up Werewolf by Night. So that's in the early issue. So I'm thinking he gets a little better because the Werewolf by Night that I know of so far could not have handled all this at once. So he'd had already been chained up and captured. So here's Werewolf by Night 39. So this is one that I was kind of holding off because I think there's a 30-cent variant of this book that I've been trying to find, but I haven't been able to find it yet. There's also a couple of, I think a Canadian price variant or maybe even a UK price variant. So kind of been hunting those down lightly, but I figure go ahead and get one so I have it in the collection and then move on from there. And here's Werewolf by Night 42, second to last in that run with Iron Man appearance. Pretty good condition. Love that book. Love that cover. And then here's one I was super stoked to get. Had to work on the price a little bit. But here is Tomb of Dracula number 18. And it is the Werewolf by Night crossover. So I think it's Tomb of Dracula 18 and maybe Werewolf by Night 15 is the two-part crossover event. And this book, I had to work them on the price too, but the reason that I did was because it has some writing on the cover. So some people, when they see that, they're like, well, I'm not going to buy that book. Screw it. I'm not buying it. I don't buy anything with writing. A lot of people have hard rules on their collecting. But for me, where I'm trying to collect every appearance of Werewolf by Night, I gotta make allowances for stuff like writing on the cover if it doesn't bother me. So if it doesn't break the main art and it's just on the dress, it doesn't bother me. Just like sometimes you'll see little marks here and there at the top, that doesn't bother me. If it's just on the dressing and it's not on the main art, then I don't really mind. However, I do use it as a negotiating point because I know that there's plenty of people who are not going to buy this book because it has some pen mark there. So I don't care for names. If I see like somebody had wrote Timmy, for instance, there was a Werewolf by Night, I think it was number 8, that I had got in a lot of comics, and I sold it. And I don't have a Werewolf by Night number 8, but I wanted one. But this one had like the name Tony written on the top of it, and then the name Tony on the inside, and you know, my name's not Tony. So you know, so I didn't want that book. I wasn't going to buy that book because I don't care for names written on the covers. But if it just has some stray pen mark, that's not a big deal to me. But I know that a lot of collectors just would not buy it. So to me, the book generally is going to have a lower value than what most dealers are going to ask for it. But they kind of know. Once you're like, look, this is writing on it, they're like, okay, we'll knock off a few bucks. So I got this one for just a couple of bucks. Real happy to have it. And I just really like the way that he's holding her in this picture. It's my favorite thing about the book. I love the way the legs are drawn and the thigh, how he's holding her on the thigh. And by the back and her, you know, whatever there, looks really good. And her hair, how it's draped down. It's just fantastic. I think they did a really good job. And she's got like puncture holes in her neck. So I think that they did a really, really good job on this book. I love the cover. They just did good. So anyway, there you go. Tomb of Dracula, number 18. The crossover Werewolf by Night, and that's my little Werewolf by Night haul for now. I'm knocking these out pretty quick, so hopefully I'll have every appearance of Werewolf by Night collected soon. I'll keep y'all up to date. When you get done collecting all these comics like crazy people, go ahead and read some. Thanks. Bye.